That's kind of my opinion on that. I don't know what the policy has been so far. Roads.
I think it's kind. I think well, I don't know if anything's written in legislation regarding it. I know historically in the past, legal aids have much like you said, sort of been a sort of a resource of some legal knowledge versus hey, you should do this or do this, right?
Yeah.
But like I know he wants to call Reggie Might. I have no problems with that.
I'm of the mind that until there is a problem, I am fine with allowing for people to get experience and
Okay.
assist the layperson as best they can. So
All right.
once there's an issue, the second there's an issue, I will toss the legal aid without
Understood.
hesitation.
Mr. Black, would you like me to call Reggie?
Yeah, if you can, please.
Sure, yeah.
I would much appreciate that.
Yeah, not a problem. Just a moment.
Thank you so much, Judge.
What up, Rhodes?
Oh, Mr. Might.
You're welcome, sir.
Mr. Black would like to know if you would be willing to be his legal aid.
Let me find out. Benji, do I really want to take a fucking hard L before I take my fucking bar license back? Yeah, it was legal aid, he said. Okay. Right, Rhodes, we'll head over. And yes, though.
So it's a yes?
No.
No, I didn't actually hear you. What'd you say?
I said we'll head over there, but I'm not saying yes yet.
Okay, so the judge has confirmed that you would be allowed to do so, to clarify.
Okay.
But he did state, if any issues arise, then he has no problems throwing out the legal aids. But right now, because
who's the judge?
Braun.
Braun's going to make me take my mask off.
Yeah, that's probably the case.
Well, fuck that then.
So you want me to tell Mr. Black that you are not willing to be a legal aid for him in this case?
Yeah, actually, what? Telling me pissed me off the other day, so no.
Okay. Your Honor and Mr. Black, unfortunately, Mr. Might is not willing to be a legal aid for Mr. Black.
Okay, noted.
Well, that's not what I said. Oh, what chest? Ow.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Might. I appreciate it.
Is he pissed?
He kind of said, "All right, noted," but like in a, I'm gonna remember that kind of way. From my understanding, Mr. Might is on his way. I don't know if he's gonna have a change of heart when he gets here.
Well, my only change will be whether or not I can fucking mask inside.
All right. Well, I'll leave that up to you guys. How long until you're here?
We'll get it sorted
Benji,
out.
I love him and I need him.
KJ's requesting us.
KJ said he loves you and he needs you.
Okay, yeah, that would never come from his mouth.
I swear, that is what he said.
Oh my god, well, he's barking up the wrong tree for that. Give us a couple of minutes.
Then we can stop playing telephone. He can just come here.
Are you going to represent him, Mr.? Do you want me to ask Mr. Braun if the mask is okay?
Yeah.
What kind of mask is it?
Reggie is saying maybe
a half mask,
about being illegal
like one of the medical ones.
Maybe coming here.
No,
a
medical
mask.
To
get here and decide then, or we're not waiting.
How long? What's your ETA, Mr. Might?
Like 2 minutes.
Okay. Mr. Might said it'll be about 2 minutes. His only point of contention, Your Honor, is he stated that he's wearing a half mask, and he doesn't know if that's going to be an issue.
There's two literal people in the Yellow Pages who are aspiring lawyers who aren't Reggie Might.
Pull in, Benjamin.
All right. Well, Mr. Might, see you soon.
What?
There is.
He's on his way.
All right. Well, he said 2 minutes.
I do need some time just to throw stuff in evidence really quick.
I'm fine with you needing time,
okay,
Rhodes. I'm saying he said 2 minutes. I'm giving him 5, and then if he doesn't turn up, then when you're ready, we're just going ahead.
Understood.
Is that you, KJ?
Yeah.
Man, you really are throwing if you're trying to get Reggie as your attorney, huh?
I think I have 110% better chance with him by my side than me by myself. All right. And if it got
I
boring, I'm basically fucked.
I think you know how this works by now. I think you
Well,
got
I
this.
know how it works, but it's always better to have people who has a little bit more knowledge
Oh, okay. So why'd you bring Reggie then?
because he has a lot of knowledge.
You know, I can actually find that relatable. You know, it's always easier to make a decision for someone else than it is to make one for yourself.
Yeah,
I'm pretty good at that,
that's
so
correct.
I had a good career in law. It's like, hey, if you have $10 million, I can easily tell you where to put it and how to spend it and where to invest it and all that stuff. If it's my money, forget it.
I agree with you, Judge. I'm 100% on board with that.
Yeah.
105. When you get a
Picking it
chance,
up.
can you change your department to SCU, please? Copy.
What's up, Surge?
Sir.
Your team sure took a beating. I missed that, and I looked at the score. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, apparently Lamar Jackson had a fucking
Small courtroom, second floor.
What have I been
second
saying
floor,
all
okay.
season?
Oh,
Yep.
well,
The Ravens have quietly been the
Oh.
best team in the league the
Okay,
entire time, and no one's really talking about them.
see San Francisco, like all of a sudden bring Brock Purdy back into the MVP conversation with his last game.
Your Honor, really quick, can you reference the report titled Carl Johnny Black? And does the photo come up for you?
Assault with deadly. Does the photo come up? Mr. Black's knife. Yes, that comes up right on the
Okay,
screen.
interesting. I'm unable to. Might just be an issue with my MDT, which is fine. As long
Just
as you can see it.
Close the tab and open a new one.
Hi.
Dispatch 103.
Hello.
Traffic.
Reggie.
Eastbound.
Hello, Mr. Might.
Near Scotts Medium.
I
What up?
presume.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, sir.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, I played around with this thing for a
All right.
while.
So there's a lot of
He showed
telephone
us that.
going on. Are you not interested in being a legal aid for this defendant?
Well,
Mr.
I'd
Black?
like to look at the information first and talk to him, and then decide.
All right. Well, you're not an attorney. You're a legal aid. So do you want to do this or not? Because time is a wasting.
For what it's worth, this doesn't reflect on you if he's found guilty or not. To be clear, you're kind of you're telling the horse where the water is, but you're not leading them there. You're not telling them to drink, from my understanding. You're just
Okay,
giving them appropriate information.
Sure.
Mr. Might,
Yeah.
if you are willing to do this, barring any potential conflicts, then just say that, and we'll proceed until that becomes an issue.
Yep. Okay. I can do that.
Is
There's something, Your Honor.
What is it?
I think there are two furries having sex in the back.
Serge, I think furries are your department.
We don't have animal control, so we're just gonna have to put him down. Officer, please.
Oh, I don't think it would be in my best interest.
Yeah,
I think he's trying to go the excessive force route on me. So,
yeah, that's
well.
Good luck.
I'm not going to stand for any human, animal, or otherwise. I'm not going to stand for any lewd conduct in my courtroom. So, let's not be making out at the movies back there.
I've got an idea, Murphy. Is that you, Benji? Since you were so helpful,
Yes, sir.
how about you sit in between them?
Sure. Hey, guys.
all right, I think I'm ready. But obviously they're gonna need time to just speak with each other. So I have no problems with however long that's gonna take.
I want to watch my uncle.
Yeah. Let's just give him a couple minutes. I'm not in any hurry.
Don't worry, Poseidon. I'll tell all of our siblings.
Thank you, baby.
No worry.
You just waking up, Serge? I don't even know what kind of hours you keep.
No, fucking. This woman comes in Liberty City, and she's like basically gushing.
Ugh.
And so we take her into the OR, and
Hey, Barrick.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
That Glendale, did you take photos of it by chance?
Yeah, I fully documented it.
Okay, can you throw the photos in the citation report?
Do not know what fucking looks like.
697.
Because that's
Thank you.
definitely not what we were doing. I don't think he's between them though.
I'm celibate.
Because
Sorry,
they
this is all
still-
foreign to me. I'm sorry.
No, because he's still not between them. I think he has to stand up and get between them.
No, I'm not
What
gonna.
did you
It's okay. This is just like preventing them.
I think if they're making out in a
Yeah,
courtroom,
that one was like
somebody being
feeling
right
my
next to
jacket
them
earlier.
watching
She's
isn't
obsessed with the
gonna
fabric.
deter them. I think that only adds to it. I think he went in the
Does it?
opposite
man.
direction.
I mean, she's not entirely wrong.
Come on, Poseidon.
You actually gave us the idea. Did you try it in there? Maybe when it's empty though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a
Hey.
surge.
Why don't you do
While
it
we're
somewhere in
waiting, you'll
Congress?
appreciate this.
Mm-hmm.
I went to this
Go
New
to
Year's
the
party
Capitol.
at the Liquid Library.
Okay.
Big New Year's party for Easter, and it turned out it was a Fuck Max party. It was
Oh.
or Fuck Max concert. It was
Well, hold on. What do you mean by fuck? Is it fuck Max or people want to fuck
that's
Max?
the one.
wanna
That's
find
the
out why
one
my
that
brain
my
is so
ex-wife went
stupid.
to later. But like, listen to this part. It was a Fuck Max.
Mm-mm.
Closer so I can hear how dumb he is.
Angry at him for dating Siobhan. So
Oh.
I'm there and it's unfolding because like she's just everyone like hates young Gab in this room. I'm like,
Right.
how did I get here? You know, what is this? And she is basically jilted and scorned. And then Paris Argo came up to me and was like, "Oh, you should kiss Carmela at midnight." And I have no frame of reference for what is going on.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
it's all in there.
So I was
Thank
like,
you.
say fuck it, why not? And ended up taking Carmela back to the apartments, and
Oh. Okay.
it was a whole thing where Siobhan ended up like basically getting extremely furious about it, and then later like trying to like swatter storm all the stuff that she was doing.
Can we
She got furious about what exactly?
ask you a question?
Well, actually, she got furious that Rosa got into town, and I told her to call
Do
me
you
on
know
and she called me screaming that I was
like
trying
joint
to make her
accounts?
jealous, and was
I
really
know
mad.
everything is really fresh right now.
Like, that was after the
But do you
Carmela
know if
stuff
joint
happened.
So
accounts
she
is,
got
And Carmela also
jealous?
thing,
before I made out
or
with
whether or not-
Carmela in public, and then took her home. Before I, knowing any of this, I found
Yeah.
out later that Carmela actually smacked Siobhan in the face.
Okay.
So just like this storm of perfect timing happened, where
What the
like
fuck did I miss last
I-
night?
I-
Jesus.
like I literally just like went out for a drink and ended up getting like extreme like fucking payback without even trying.
105 traffic, Strawberry, Alta, pink color tow truck.
I missed last night. Jesus. Okay.
Oh.
That's like a fun night.
Yeah, that all happened in like an hour or two.
Okay.
We outside.
Actually, Your Honor, I will be right back. Only take me a minute. Do. Perfect. Perfect.
103. Should we clear traffic center?
And let's go with this.
It's downstairs.
All right. I'm so glad that radar reading is still there.
Said that as well. I mean, there's over at the desk. There's a public thing.
There's 2 people.
Gotcha. Yeah, they were drinking coffee and they wouldn't talk to me. I didn't.
All right. Apologies, Your Honor. Your Honors.
Hey, Rhodes, what
Yeah?
charge?
That's okay. Still got a minute.
So I don't actually know if you wanted to appeal
listen.
the original citation.
I think it's the second part of this.
Okay. The 2 charges are assault with a deadly weapon and brandishing a non-firearm.
Okay. Can we do just plain assault and brandishing and not have to go through all the shit?
Normal
He
assault?
didn't actually hit you.
He swung at me.
But
I had to shoot him.
Come on, Rhodes. Don't make us go through this, please.
Listen.
I
I
wanna
don't
take
want
this
to.
L.
I don't want to.
Take this L.
Oh,
I don't
but-
want to either. Please.
I'd be willing to drop the brandishing and just stick with assault with a deadly. But that fucker said, "Do you or what
that's a
color do you
felony,
bleed?"
this
and then
is
try to
first
chef me
felony.
up. He tried to chef me up.
Rhodes, please.
Listen,
Misdemeanor.
here's the thing, Mr. Black.
He's been so good.
No, he has not. This is a traffic stop.
Not for this. Not for this. Not for this. But before that, he has actually been. I kid you not. He's actually been really good. He's been doing his mechanic stuff and tow stuff.
Well,
Kid you not.
Reggie, under normal circumstances, I think I'd be willing to consider. Okay, but this is something that started over something so small. I
You
can't.
don't think I'm gonna yell at him afterwards?
Well, I'm sure you are, but Reggie, respectfully, I can't look past this one. Okay, I can't.
Why are you doing this to me, Rhodes?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I took his mugshot, and I told him to say cheese, I almost asked him to say Swiss cheese,
Okay.
but I didn't have it in me.
Okay,
we're
then.
ready now, Your Honor.
Okay, then everybody's got all the evidence and things they need.
We don't have the report, but I believe it's just going to be verbal evidence.
All right, as long as the
Rhodes?
report is read and you know, the photo of the knife is understood, like then you're
We
good.
don't have that, but if Rhodes has the knife and flashes.
I mean,
But I'm saying as long as he reads what's on the report and it's accurate, you're fine with that. You know, you don't need to be sent stuff or anything.
I haven't read the report. Oh, if he reads it, Rhodes reads it. Yeah, go for it. That's fine.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Like,
Your Honor,
just
you
in
want me
terms
to
of
put the
expediting this.
knife up there on? Let me just.
Oh yeah. All
All right.
You can do that. Go ahead. Put on. I mean, you did uncuff the suspect, so just keep that in mind.
You know what, Your Honor? Never mind. Never mind.
I think you can only have one or the other, Rhodes.
Yeah, you know what?
Mr. Rhodes, I only use that knife, all right, in the line of work.
Shut
all right?
up.
So,
Shut up. Shut
Okay.
up.
All right. Yeah. You know, I'd actually prefer the knife not be there, Your Honor. Just know
Might
that there
be
is
for
a
the
knife
best.
here, right here.
is-
That was, you know. Actually, I don't have an issue forwarding the report to either of them.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I'll do
go-
that.
go-
I'll just
go
copy
ahead.
it. It's not going to be in PDF format or anything, but I will try to ensure you have all the relevant info.
It's fine.
Yeah, it would not be a great first case as a judge for me if you know, things got stabby in here.
Would it not be a good first case? Turns into people. My
Yeah, you know, you're right.
here 2 days ago, there was a woman who kept beating the fuck out of the police every time they would uncover.
See, the thing is, though, Serge, is that if I let it happen, then it's on me. If it was on Rhodes, and I knew, and I said nothing and I let it happen and it was on him, then yeah, maybe it would have been entertaining. But it's my ass. It's not his ass. Not on my watch.
All right. Okay. All right. Actually, that was wild as fuck. Crane had to come in and help the prosecution versus Shaban. It was a completely one-sided ass whooping. It was pretty fucked up.
Was the prosecution officer or
Yeah, Cornwood.
Oh, it was Cornwood.
Yeah, it was Cornwood. It was a one-sided beatdown.
And Crane's been spotting as an attorney.
Here we are.
Because there's no other attorneys around. Because I tweeted out any lawyers around, and it's like what the fuck is going on? I'm like, Cornwood needs an attorney, and the only other attorney is currently representing the defense, and Malton is currently unable to represent because he.
All right. Let me go ahead and place a copy there. Y'all get that?
Yeah, I got my phone.
So the reason I wanted to do that was because I had to do a lot of it manually, and I just wanted to ensure you see exactly what I've sent them to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Earlier too with the photos and stuff. Okay.
Yeah. I can see them now. Serge did tell me workaround. I just had to close the incident, open it back up, or close the tab. So that did work, thankfully. But I figured I'd at least show you what I've sent them in case anything may show in the report that doesn't there.
All right. Understood. Sounds good.
All right.
Okay. So both sides ready to go. Everybody's got everything.
Yeah, Shona.
Yes.
Reggie, do you want 1 minute to look over the stuff you just got sent, or you?
I've already read it all.
All right, perfect. All right, first time using the gavel. All right, we are convened here today for the following reason: to hear the case against Mr. Carl Johnny Black. Let me take a look at the charges. That's 1 times assault with a deadly weapon and 1 times
What did you just do?
A non-firearm. Couple things before we get underway. I am a new judge in this city, but Rhodes and some others here know that if anybody knows all the bullshit in a courtroom, it's me. So there's going to be a little bullshit, but if there's a lot, I will shut it down. Let's keep things moving and keep things short and to the point, and get to the heart of what happened here. Anybody in the gallery wants to make a comment, better make it a good one, because you won't get a second chance if it's lame. So just know that's my vibe. And you only get 1 chance with me. Anyways, statement of... it's not worded like a statement of claim.
It's not,
so,
no.
Okay. Sometimes it's, readable. All right. So...
who are we going to swear
what do I say
on?
next? I've never done this before. Okay. We will swear everyone in who is here to testify. So please raise your left hands. All right. Do you swear and affirm that the testimony you are about to deliver shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you, Nikita.
I do.
I do.
All right. Very well. Everyone is sworn in. We're going to hear about these 2 charges from the prosecution first. Mr. Rhodes.
Okay.
Please.
Well, Your Honor.
Rhodes, 1 sec.
Oh, yeah, go Go ahead.
Your Honor, do you want to ask us what charges we're going to be contesting? This is going to make it a little bit easier for you guys.
Oh, right. Yeah. Defense, how do you plead to these charges? To the charge of 1 times assault with a deadly weapon.
Not guilty, Your Honor.
And 1 times brandishing a firearm.
Guilty, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hold on. You just pled guilty to brandishing a firearm.
He's a
No,
fucking
it's
moron, Your Honor.
Non-firearm.
It's a non-firearm.
Non-firearm, yeah.
Yeah, non-fire. I just want to make sure because he just pled guilty to a completely different charge.
Sometimes I pull down my pants and range.
Okay.
Wait.
Sorry,
So
what?
hang on. So you're pleading guilty to the assault with a deadly weapon and not
No,
guilty to the
opposite.
brandishing?
No, opposite.
Okay. I was gonna say that it sort of
The other way around, Your Honor.
You almost had him. You almost had him there, Murphy. You almost had him.
So essentially, it makes it easier. We're not going to argue about whether or not there was a fucking knife involved. Yeah.
all right. Fair enough. So prosecution can note that they do not need to be emphatic on that charge, and we can proceed. Your
Perfect.
plea is entered.
Perfect.
Prosecution, back to you. Go ahead and give your statement on these charges.
You know what, Your Honor? You asked for short and to the point, and you know what that is? A knife that Mr. Black here attempted to chef me up with all over something that stemmed from a traffic stop in which they just wanted to complain. I don't know what I did, but let me tell you, at the conclusion of the traffic stop, Mr. Black, let me rephrase, I heard Mr. Black ask me what it was, either like what color is my blood or what color do I bleed, to which I responded red. Okay, and as soon as I did that, I saw him reach for something, so I took a few steps back, and Your Honor, he had the audacity to lunge at me with the knife. So I immediately got on my radio. I called for immediate backup, also known as 78s, pulled my gun, and shot Mr. Black, according to the doctor, 6 times in total. Though Mr. Black did drop to the ground briefly. I saw him stand back up, continue in my direction, to which I shot him again. And at that point, he was subdued. And yeah, crazy how this all happened. I don't know why he wanted to chef me up, Your Honor. I don't know. But remember, if we just want to be short and to the point, the knife. He tried to chef me up, also known as stab me, after asking me what color my blood was or what color I bleed.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's mostly it, Your Honor. That's mostly it.
All right. Thank you. All right, defense. Please go ahead and issue your opening remarks about this case.
Can I ask him any questions about his statement?
Oh, Your Honor, I'll be honest.
I didn't
realize it was like an opening.
Oh, that was the
all right.
opening.
Well,
I didn't realize that was everything.
I like to hear statements and then open for questioning. I like the flow of that
Okay.
better.
All
So,
right.
like,
Fair enough.
Yeah, like we're not. It's not an opening statement. You are giving like basically your testimony, and then they're going to give their testimony, and then you're going to question each other.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So go ahead and tell your side.
I'm just letting him know if he talks now that he's waiving his Fifth Amendment rights. Okay.
Okay. Just bear in mind that as this is a bench trial, any statements he issues, though he is acting as his counsel, you know, it will be taken as testimony under oath. So advise him of that, and if you need to speak for him, I'll give you another minute or two to prepare for that if you need it.
Okay. Thank you. So if you talk now, you're waiving your Fifth Amendment rights, which means that he can question you about anything. If you fuck up and you try to sway a case anyway, you can look at something like perjury, which then fucks you even further. Okay?
Okay, so what you
I don't want to.
If you don't give a statement right now, they take everything Rose says as is, and they roll with it there. So
Should I give a statement?
Huh?
Question. Has anyone asked you or spoken to you and told you that stand your ground doesn't exist?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Has anyone spoken to you about standing your ground not existing?
Well, it exists, but not in the same capacity that it did. No longer for property, it seems. Yeah, no, that I keep informing people. Yeah, we've been spoken to in regards to it from captains, and I've been informing others.
I meant like normal people complaining that they can't shoot people in the apartments or stab them.
I don't know that that's been told in sort of a widespread manner, you know? I've been doing my due diligence with grime workers and group 6 workers, though, and informing them if someone is stealing your packages, you know, not much you can do about that outside of report it to the police and it becoming, you know, like if we catch them, great, but if not, you know, don't beat their ass. They'll just turn around and sue you.
Actually, I gotta tell you this really quickly.
I'm ready to talk, Your Honor.
Oh, never mind. I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
I just begin, Your Honor.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
The floor is mine. Thank you so much, Your Honor. So, I was just driving my own business. Was on the phone, got my seatbelt on. Take a right turn. Suddenly I realize I have blue lights behind me and sirens. Pull over. I hear a voice telling me, you know, to stop the engine, pull down the window. And I do so. I oblige. Officer Rhodes here come up to my window and ask me if I didn't hear him on the megaphone. And I said, what megaphone? Yeah, he said he followed me a couple of blocks with a megaphone, telling me to stop. I told him I didn't hear a megaphone and I asked him if his megaphone was actually working. He said yes, it was. He could hear it. I said, okay, that's good for you, but I didn't hear it. I pulled over when I saw the lights, where I heard the sirens. He asked for my identification. I gave him my driver license. He told me my driver license were not valid. I said, okay. I realized, okay, fuck, yeah, it was New Year. It was outdated in 2023. He said I need to go to the courthouse to get a new one. I said, okay, yeah, I didn't get any new in the mailbox, so I can head over there. He told me basically something about I driven through a red light. I said, okay, I didn't recognize that, but yeah, if you believe so. But yeah, can I get to the courthouse? He said, yeah, you need to step out to the car and you need to walk. We were arguing semantics, I would say. I was arguing the law. I asked him a little bit about the law. He told me, he put up his little pad, I would say, and he said, yeah, this is the law. Acknowledge. He said, yeah, I'm not giving you any citation or anything. I just want you to step out. I will tow the vehicle and you're on your way. I called up a friend who was supposed to pick me up. I walked out of the car on the sidewalk. He was walking to the car and he asked me for the keys. I said, am I legally obliged to give you the keys? He said, no. Okay, well, then I will not give you any keys. All right, I will just stand here and wait for my friend to pick me up and I will be on my way. Then he turned around and he said, well, you should wait there. I'm going to hand you a citation anyway. Retaliation for not giving the keys. Went into his vehicle, wrote up the citation. I went to the other officer who was on the scene. I asked, can I get a supervisor over here? I feel like this is retaliation for me not doing anything illegal when he already told me that he's not going to give me a citation. They asked for one, but apparently there was none available. I was standing on the side. He came over to me. He said, here's your citation, $400. I'm going to give you 4 dots on your license. And yeah, you need to go and get your new driver license. I said, okay, that's all. He said, yes. And I pulled out my knife. And after I pulled out my knife, he shot me 4 times in my chest, 1 time in my leg, and 1 time in my ass cheeks. That is my testimony.
All right, very good. Since the prosecution went first, defense, if you have some questions for Matt Rhodes about his part in the situation or anything anything in evidence, go ahead.
Can I talk to my legal aid, Your Honor?
Yeah, take a minute.
Thank you.
You are fucked, buddy. There's nothing to do.
I can barely hear you. What?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Now I can hear you. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you good. Hello? Hello? Your Honor?
Yes.
You can hear me? Okay,
yes,
good.
sir.
Just give me a minute. I'm trying to talk to my legal aid.
No, you're fine. Where'd he go?
I believe.
Seems like we have. Sorry.
He's having his throat is having issues, Your Honor.
I get what you mean now. That's okay. Cool.
He must have had a good New Year's.
Oh.
I had a good New Year's. That's for sure.
Sorry, Your Honor. I just had a little bit of throat issues.
All good.
Nothing. You just stand there. I ask questions. That's it.
Okay. Okay. So we should ask
Just relax. That's what. Thank you, Your Honor. Rhodes.
Hi.
What was the your location towards KJ? How far away distance wise? Roughly.
I originally are you talking about when he pulled the knife?
Yeah.
I would say similar distance to you and KJ right now, except I was, me and him weren't exactly facing the same direction. I was facing towards him. And he was, I believe, facing towards me at the time.
Okay. And where was your location at the scene? Was it on the sidewalk? Was it on the road?
We were both on the sidewalk.
Okay. How far away from the said vehicle?
I'd say I'm not 100% accurate. However, I had to estimate. I would say maybe the distance from like Barrack to. We weren't very far from the vehicle. I don't know. I can't accurately state that, to be honest.
Okay. So you're relatively close to the vehicle.
Yeah, we weren't very far.
Okay. All right. Was in your opinion, as a police officer dealing with the public, would you say that Mr. Black was visibly frustrated?
Yeah. I would. So much so that he almost tried to chef me up. I can't believe it.
Right. And after pulling out the knife, did Mr. Black say anything to you?
I don't know. Because my immediate reaction was to take a few steps back, to which he lunged towards me with the knife.
And you stated that when he got shot, he stood back up and moved towards you. Are we talking like several steps, running towards you like a deranged psycho, or is it more that he got up, moved a step, and then keeled over?
So after he had lunged, to clarify, he had originally lunged towards me. That's when I called for backup, pulled out my gun, shot towards him. He was still charging towards me. At some point, it seemed as though he lost his balance, fell to the ground, got back up fairly quickly, still, sort of darted in my direction, and then again continued to shoot at the individual because he had a knife charging at me, and already attempted to lunge at me with it. And that's when again I shot again.
Now, you stated that he lunged at you. Was it that he lunged at you, or that he ran at you with it?
Well, it was sort of a combination of both. He moved in my direction while swinging the knife while we were in. I'd only taken a few steps back from when he started reaching, primarily because he had already, made some seemingly suspicious comments referencing the color of my blood or the color in which I bleed. It was one of those two. So I was a little on edge. So when I saw him reach for something, I immediately backed up. And that's thankfully what gave me the distance to not have been chefed up as a result of, Mr. Black trying to, shank me.
Okay. So he didn't connect with you at all, right?
That is correct.
I got no further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. Matt Rhodes, if you have some questions for the defense regarding any statements entered or their arguments, go ahead.
Mr. Black?
Yes.
Well, actually, Your Honor, is it appropriate for me to refer to the attempted stabbing as chefing me up?
I've allowed it so far.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Mr. Black, is there a reason as to why you wanted to chef me up?
Hello.
Sorry, can you repeat again?
Yeah, is there a reason as to why you attempted to chef me up?
I didn't attempt to chef you up.
Okay. Is there a reason as to why you pulled the knife?
There is.
And what was that reason?
I wanted to slice the tire off the car. I want to damage the car so much that it will be a hard one for you, to tow that car.
Okay. Is there a
I'm
reason?
a tow truck driver myself, and I know how hard it is to get damaged vehicles.
Got
it's a pain in the ass.
Totally understand. Is there a reason as to why you asked what color I bleed or what color my blood is?
I'm sorry. That has to be your imagination. I never said such a thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Just a moment. Just take a look here. All right. Mr. Black, how many times did the doctor indicate you were shot?
6 times.
Okay. And was I showing any level of aggression prior to you pulling this knife?
Can I object to that one just because opinion of a layperson, KJ is actually pretty dog shit at understanding people's emotions.
Your Honor, rebuttal. I'm fairly certain they asked me a very similar question.
Yeah, but that was about
what's
KJ. Not...
What's good for one is good for all.
Okay.
All right. Can you repeat the question?
Sure. I'll even clarify just a little further. Prior to you pulling the knife, was there any sort of aggression coming from me? And when I say aggression, I more so mean like, I'm going to do something to you, in sort of like a physical way, like, beat you up or shoot you, for example, right?
Shoot or beat me up? Aggression? No.
Okay.
Giving me a fine because I didn't give you the keys? Yes.
Got it. Okay. Understood. Yeah, I don't think I have any other questions.
All right. Is there any examination of evidence either side wants to point out any details that haven't been covered in testimony?
Me, I got evidence.
Okay.
Me.
All right.
I got some as well, Your Honor.
Perfect.
Your Honor, the knife, which can be seen here. Okay.
Noted.
This is the knife he attempted to chef me up with. Okay. In Your Honor, I don't wish to point out the obvious, but here I am. That vehicle that he was driving, he was no longer in. It was stationary and in the middle of a lane while we were on the sidewalk. So why, if we're almost shoulder to shoulder, would he pull it out with the intent to stab a tire on a vehicle that wasn't stationary and not actually stab said tire and instead lunge towards me? Your Honor, I don't know. I just know he made an attempt on my life. That's all I know. And he was shot as a result for charging towards me and making no attempt to go towards that car. None. Zero.
All right. I think we've moved beyond the knife in evidence.
Okay.
Anything else?
Just that his license was expired. You know.
No, I was saying for him to wrap up his point on the knife. That's all.
Yeah.
He's still got more evidence.
And yeah, just the expired license and such, because that was brought up by them. In fact, the entire citation, which was, I guess, sort of roped into this, but a different scenario, because that concluded and then this happened, was brought up. But I guess it's neither here nor there.
We're not arguing those charges.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go through that.
Okay. All right, defense. Do you have any further evidence to examine here?
One thing to say. When I talked to the doctor, he told me I was shot 6 times. He said I was shot 4 times in the chest, 1 in the leg, and 1 in my ass cheeks. Officer Rhodes over here is claiming that I was charging him. I don't know if somebody's able to charge somebody and get shot in the ass cheeks. Thank you.
Okay, I've also got something. I just want to point out in the
Okay. Hang on a second. We need to back up. The doctor said, where's I'm not. Do we have a medical report?
That's
in
correct.
Here?
I asked the doctor to make a medical. What do you call it, Your Honor?
I don't know why you bring that up because we don't have the report. It's not in fucking evidence.
Okay. Why is this the first mention made of a medical report, Mr. Might?
Yeah, because Carl doesn't listen.
I can vouch for that, Your Honor.
That's the be all and end all of that one. Right, we understand you're not going to put this into evidence or anything like that.
If Rhodes is willing to hurt his own case to affirm the truth, then that's good enough for me, pending any need for this report in the future. That's fine. As
long as I can make a statement to explain, because I don't want me to allow this and then offer no explanation from my side. That would seem a little backwards. So I'm okay with allowing it as long as I can get a statement regarding that
It's the
situation.
first mention of it, and you've had no ability to address it and would not procedurally. So I'm going to allow Rhodes to explain the ass cheeks.
Sure. So I can explain that, Your Honor. So when he was charging me, that's likely when the original 4 struck the individual in the chest. And then the 2 follow-up shots were likely from when the individual had, like I said, sort of fell over. I thought they were down, stopped shooting, and then continued to shoot when they got back up. So the combination of them falling to the ground, attempting to get back up, still with knife in hand, that is likely why the injuries weren't all sustained to the actual chest.
All right. I think from here, I just let the defense continue with their point. But just to be clear, everyone is accepting this outcome where you get to talk about your medical report. He acknowledges that everything is pretty much as he says. Because I don't want to get into a back and forth where you say something and now he's going to correct it.
Yeah. No, I totally understand.
Understood.
Everyone's good? All right.
Yep.
Defense, please continue with your last point.
Yeah. So for myself, I just want to bring into the fact in the questioning of Rhodes. He did state that he was somewhat close to the vehicle. Both of the individuals were close to the vehicle. During his closing and going through the evidence, he stated that the vehicle was further in the middle of the road, making it sound like it was further away than what he did when being questioned. The other point I'd like to bring into it is Rhodes has made accusations during his statement. However, there was mention that there was a secondary officer there. No officer is here to back up his statements as well. That's everything I want to go over.
All right, very well. If that's everything, then I will go deliberate, and I should have a decision shortly.
Understood.
Understood, Your Honor.
Do you want to control the room, sir, or do you want to come with me? All right, won't be long.
Well,
all right, perfect.
What's up?
I can talk to both of you now.
This is true.
All right, stand your ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't protect your property, bro. I had a grime driver come up to me the other day and said, in a quote, I had someone steal packages from my grime vehicle, so I called the police. The police never showed up. I went and spoke to the police officer, Senior Buns, about it, and their response was, you should buy a knife and protect yourself because these streets are cold.
I mean, I see the implication there of like get aggressive with them, but the reality is 9 times out of 10 they're being held up by a knife or a wrench. And so I imagine the implication there is to actually like have something to defend yourself. Sorry. If they're being held up. The example I like to give to people is if you see someone at the back of your truck stealing your shit, you can't legally beat them up or do anything to that extent. However, that's not what's typically happening. What's typically happening is, you know, they're being held up at knife point or something to that extent. And if someone is able to articulate that their life was in danger in a situation like that, then obviously they can defend themselves. But it's far different than, like, again, the person stabbing someone because they're taking packages versus the person stabbing, you know, their coworker, or not their coworker, stabbing the person holding up their coworker for threatening their life, right? Like those, that's the example I like to give. If someone's carjacking you, and when I say carjacking you, let me rephrase. If someone is in your car trying to lockpick it, not much you can do about that. No. If you're in your car and they have a wrench and they're saying, get the fuck out, and you have a gun, you know, and you got some distance, I mean, depending on whether or not they had ample opportunity to either flee the scene or whatever, or back away and ensure that no one got hurt, like, that would very likely be legally justified. But it's two separate, like, sure, same outcome, but, like, separate scenarios in which one is legal, one isn't. One is the theft of a car, where no one is actually being hurt. The other is someone being, you know, forced against their will at, you know, the threat of violence with a weapon. That's a completely different ballgame. Someone articulating the defense of themselves or someone else is justified in one case, but not in the other when it's just the car that's being stolen. So yeah. It gets tricky. I'm trying to explain to these people, like, listen, your life is not worth anything in those fucking trucks that are being stolen. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's not worth it.
If your packages get stolen, I mean, like, if you find out, you know, make the report, and if you find out who stole them, sue them in court.
Exactly.
You know, we've had a successful
lawsuit. Was that Flippy?
Yeah, Flippy.
Yes,
Flippy
I remember that.
Suing, yeah. And
wait, Barrick, did you end up representing them?
He did. He did, and he won.
Good. It's about time people are taking people to court.
But I tell people about it all the time, and no one wants to do it. And well, like, Flippy did it. Like, guys, this guy's a very committed to his groupering, his Group 6 stuff, and you know he wasn't gonna let that shit take it lying down, and he didn't. He won money out of it.
Good. as he should have. Now, the unfortunate thing is, most times we're not there to actually witness these events happen or see these people actually rob people. We're short-staffed. We're pretty much the skeleton crew at the moment. That's going to likely change here in the next few weeks, but, while we're short-staffed, it's very much so a logistics issue. If we have a bomb threat in one location, if we have 10 people being robbed at Group 6, 5 people being robbed at the Grime delivery spot, we can't be in all those places if we don't have the officers for it. We also can't send in a single officer to deal with, 4 armed individuals, right? Because that, if an officer then gets hurt, what are we gonna do? We then have to divert from everything else to go and attend to that.
We literally had a bench trial here yesterday, actually, in which Cornwood was the prosecution, and there was literally shots fired outside, so he had to respond because
there was no one else.
No one else was close enough. Like,
yeah, that's exactly what happens.
It is what it is. I mean,
you're not taking a case. You're not a lawyer. You're not a lawyer. No, it's great that you wake up, Reggie. It's good that
looks like Reggie's accepted his loss.
Well, he's not an attorney here; it's just a legal aid. So I agree with what Bron said in that he's not.
Reggie hasn't shut up for 3 days that he wants to be the head of the bar association.
Well, I mean, if Reggie wants to do that, I think that's great. I think it's important for him to, have that sort of distinguished, again, a legal aid, paralegal. Neither of them are attorneys. And as a legal aid, you're just saying, this is available, this is available, this is available. Yep. You're not an attorney stating, I think the best course of action is this, and you should plead the fifth. You should not, right? Like, one is saying what's available.
I'm stupid.
I'm gonna be real. The amount of things I try to lock just out of habit, it's rough.
Yeah. All right.
All
Let's
right.
see where this goes.
All right. We are back in session, and I do have a verdict. This is a case involving a violent felony. It's a very serious charge. But this is a bench trial. So I don't want to underplay the important things that can be gleaned from a case like this. On the surface, this could be argued out on a he said, she said basis. It is one of those kinds of cases where it is emphasized that it is this officer's word against the suspect / possible victim of abuse of our law enforcement system. And I've seen many of these kinds of cases before, and a lot of times they are argued out of court and dismissed on the basis that there is no third party testimony that corroborates one thing or the other. Interesting distinctions exist in this case that are very interesting and I think kind of important. So with a situation like this, where possibly an abuse has occurred, you have to measure the circumstances against the worst case scenario. So let's say Matt Rhodes walks into a department store on duty, and as he's browsing the kitchenware section, he sees Carl Johnny Black holding a kitchen knife. Bang, bang, bang. Unloads 6 shots. Right there. Nothing else to speak of. So you have to measure this situation against the worst possible case of Rhodes being right in this situation, let's say, technically. So let's keep that in mind and say, if Mr. Black was simply standing in public holding a knife and Rhodes came upon him, Rhodes would have been approaching him from a considerable distance in range, making instructions, trying to get him to disarm, and his decisions at that point would inform the level of force and escalation that would be required. And it would be a lot more straightforward than the narrative here today. And either he would have dropped the knife